that she was hunting for a man in England from 2013 onwards, when her marriage had crashed and she couldn't find anyone in Canada at the time. And she wanted wealth and she wanted fame.
She was hoping to have intimate meetings with Harry Mandel. Mrs. Mandel got wind of this.
Meghan Markle was even open to something romantic with Piers Morgan.
She was meeting with Piers Morgan for, I believe, reasons beyond being friends.
Meghan tends to get a bit more manic when things aren't going particularly well. You can almost feel the force and emphasis by her to try and make this Hollywood thing work.
She also, P. Dinah, was, before Harry, desperate to find a British man.
Tom Bower has finally named every man Meghan Markle allegedly had on her radar. The football star she reportedly wanted to meet. The pop singers who barely gave her the time of day. The celebrity chef she was still dating when she met Prince Harry. And according to royal commentators, the royal she may have been fascinated by before Harry ever entered the picture. Stay until the end because this story only gets stranger.
Meghan is in a losing battle because there is a lot that is still going to come out about her. She definitely wants us to have a certain image of her, and she just doesn't want things that she's done in the past to come out. But I think when you have made a lot of people very angry, you have certainly shown no remorse towards...
It all starts with Lizzie Cundy. Cundy still remembers the night Meghan allegedly asked her a question that completely changed how she saw her. It was 2013. Meghan had just arrived in London. New city, new social circles, new opportunities. Her marriage to Trevor Engelson had already ended, and according to stories repeated for years in tabloids and biographies, the breakup was abrupt and surprisingly cold.
Why Trevor Engelson was very hesitant to put her forward for anything because Meghan was an embarrassment, no matter what she was put forward for and managed to get. She then tried to up the ante and turn it into something it wasn't.
Then came that first meeting with Lizzie Cundy. According to Cundy, before they had even finished their first drink, Meghan leaned across the table and asked if she could introduce her to a famous British footballer. Not just any footballer. Ashley Cole. Now, for American viewers who might not know the context, Ashley Cole was one of the most famous footballers in England at the time.
And the people who were on her hit list included Max George from the boy band The Wanted, the professional footballer at the time, Ashley Cole, and Matt Cardle, the former X Factor winner. So I'll get to all of that. But I think it's also sometimes very instructive, and I thank Princess Carparkle for the work finding these.
He had played for Arsenal, Chelsea, and the England national team. But he was also at the center of massive tabloid controversy following cheating allegations involving singer Cheryl Cole, one of Britain's biggest celebrities. In other words, Ashley Cole was headline poison at that moment. And according to Tom Bower's retelling of the story, Meghan still wanted the introduction immediately.
She knew exactly how to play. And the point about Meghan is, it's easy to dislike her. But the point about her is that in her own terms, she is an astonishing success. She came from nothing, not a very successful actress. She had no money. She had no future after the Suits series in Canada. And suddenly she's an international star with quite a lot of money. And of course, in her terms, that's a great success.
Bower has repeatedly pointed back to this incident in interviews and commentary because he believes it reveals something important about Meghan's personality and ambitions. Fast-moving, strategic, focused on status and connections. But Lizzie Cundy reportedly refused to help arrange the meeting. And according to royal commentators, that rejection didn't discourage Meghan at all. It simply pushed her toward other high-profile names. By 2015, Meghan was allegedly messaging British celebrities directly online. One of them was Matt Cardle, winner of the X Factor. Reports claim Meghan contacted him through social media, complimented his music, and suggested they meet up the next time she visited the UK. But according to stories later repeated in British media, Matt stopped replying. Then came Max George from The Wanted. Again, similar reports emerged. Friendly messages. Flirty tone. suggestions about meeting in person. Years later, Max himself admitted he barely remembered the interaction until Meghan suddenly became one of the most famous women in the world beside Prince Harry. Tom Bower's argument has stayed consistent throughout all of this. According to him, Meghan was not simply being pursued by powerful or famous men. She was actively pursuing influential connections herself. But during all of this, there was reportedly another man already in Meghan's life. A serious boyfriend. Canadian celebrity chef Corey Vitiello. And this is where the story becomes even more controversial. According to multiple biographies and royal commentators, Meghan was still living with Corey around the same time she first met Prince Harry in 2016. Critics have argued for years that the timeline surrounding Meghan and Harry's romance never fully added up publicly. Tom Bower has repeatedly highlighted this point in interviews, claiming that the overlap between the relationships was quietly softened in media coverage once the royal romance became global news. Corey, meanwhile, almost disappeared from the public narrative overnight. One day he was Meghan's long-term partner. The next day the entire world was focused on Prince Harry. And according to some royal commentators, Harry may not even have been the royal Meghan admired most originally. Because long before meeting Harry, Meghan had publicly written about the British royal family on her old lifestyle blog, The Tig. She openly discussed royal weddings, British royalty, and the glamour surrounding the monarchy. She praised Catherine, Princess of Wales, and wrote enthusiastically about royal culture years before she officially entered that world herself. Old blog posts, interviews, and internet archives have fueled endless speculation ever since. Tom Bower and several royal critics have even claimed Meghan once showed particular fascination with Prince William. Whether exaggerated or not, the theory exploded online throughout 2025 and 2026. Critics argue that William represented the ultimate royal fantasy, future king, global fame, perfect family image. But William was already married with children and completely unavailable. So according to Meghan's critics, Harry became the next best path into royal life. At that point, Harry was emotionally vulnerable, highly public, and still deeply affected by years of media scrutiny and personal struggles. Then the speculation becomes even darker. For years, controversial internet rumors have claimed Meghan socialized in elite yacht party circles during her 20s. Some writers and commentators have hinted at wealthy businessmen, celebrities, and international elites moving through those same social scenes in places like Monaco, St. Tropez, and the Mediterranean. Tom Bower has referenced parts of these rumors carefully, while other online commentators have pushed the allegations much further. However, it is important to note that many of the most extreme claims remain unverified speculation and have never been publicly proven. Still, the rumors continue following Meghan everywhere. Critics argue that the mystery surrounding sections of her pre-royal years has only fueled more online obsession. What is factual, however, is that Meghan was not a major Hollywood superstar before Prince Harry. Her biggest acting role came from Suits, a successful but relatively modest cable drama filmed largely in Toronto. While Suits had loyal fans, Meghan was far from being a household name globally. Most Americans had never heard of her until the royal relationship exploded into headlines. Before Suits, Meghan also worked briefly as a briefcase model on Deal or No Deal. Years later, Meghan herself spoke publicly about feeling objectified during that stage of her career. But critics and former industry insiders have continued debating what really happened behind the scenes during those years. And then comes one of the most famous stories of all. Piers Morgan. Piers has repeated the story countless times over the years. According to Morgan, Meghan contacted him online, complimented his work, and arranged to meet him at a London pub. He believed they had formed a friendly connection. But according to Piers, Meghan left that same evening to attend her first date with Prince Harry. And after Harry entered the picture, Piers claims Meghan never contacted him again. Not a message. Not a call. Nothing. To critics like Tom Bower, that became the perfect example of Meghan's alleged pattern. Build the connection. Use the opportunity. Move on once something bigger appears. Ashley Cole, Matt Cardle, Max George, Corey Vitiello, Piers Morgan. According to Meghan's critics, every relationship followed the same formula. But now, in 2026, many royal commentators believe that Pattern may finally be catching up with her. Her business ventures have faced heavy criticism online. Streaming projects appear quieter than before. Brand launches have struggled to maintain momentum. And rumors about tension inside Meghan and Harry's marriage continue dominating tabloids on both sides of the Atlantic.